Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. It is gorgeous outside. I just got home a little bit ago. I haven't been home all day. I've been in court. I was a witness. So I'm coming out to check the produce stand. Isn't it pretty? See that right there? I'll show you that. I sold all my little snacks, so I put one together. And it's doing really good. I'm almost out of corn. I bought corn from my friend and resold it. So I got a bit of a discount because I bought so much of it. And my patty pans, I think I'm going to have to do some dehydrating because I don't really care for freezing them. But look at all that squash. I see if I don't start selling some of them, I'm going to make one of those beautiful squash pies with them. It's gorgeous. And I filled this up. This is the third time I have filled all these up. So they're utilizing my dehydrated goods. And of course, there's my little can. And my granddaughter's already checked it earlier today. But look, my snack mixes. And those cute little stickers that I got that say homemade. Love it. I got watermelon for sale. I've been selling the heck out of tomatoes and everything. And of course, my nice big refrigerator here. I've got, those sell like hot bread. My fresh baked brownies. Those are selling really good. That's so good. That's a little empty in there. I gotta load it up again. I had 8 loaves of bread in there, and I've got 4 left. And that was just 2 days ago. So that's doing good. So I'm pleased with it. I got a new sign because my old one was too small. So I bought a new sign, little thing that sticks in the ground, says fresh produce. I can't believe how gorgeous it is today. I put my laundry early this morning. I put it out on the clothesline. And then I was gone all day. I didn't think I would be gone all day, but I was. So my day was kind of shot. Nothing to do in the garden, not this late. So I figured we'd just walk around and I'd show you a little bit how things are going. Some of the things, because it's August, is starting to die out. Like I lost my zucchini plants. They petered out on me. They're all done. But remember, I did plant them very early. And look at here. This one, let me turn this around. A little bitty watermelon there in that pot. That is a riot. It didn't do good. And it probably won't. It probably won't amount to much of anything. But things are doing good. My beans, those ones in there, you see the yellow and all that dying. I'm just letting those ones go for seed. I'm not going to do anything more with them. It's produced a little bit, but not really. Not that much. That one hasn't produced anything except a bunch of foliage. Well, wait a minute. Look at here. We got one. Look at there. Beautiful. We got a nice one out of there. Put that up here on the table. I'll set that on the table. I'll have that for dinner. I love harvesting dinner out of the garden. How amazing is that? Now this one, it produced like crazy for a while and then stopped, and now it's getting all kinds of flowers on it again. My flowers here are doing really good. Those are morning glories. And I don't understand it. They still haven't bloomed. Usually by this time, it's loaded. But it's not. And the chickens, they're doing really good over here. They're all getting along, except that one's still too small. They've been beating on those two, so I got those two. They're hanging out together, so they're not lonesome. All these guys are doing good in here. And I I don't know what that bucket is over there. One of my granddaughters put that in there. I am still waiting on straw, friends. I ordered straw 2 months ago, and I still haven't gotten it. And unfortunately, a few weeks ago, the gentleman that I do get my straw from, he was in a bad motorcycle accident. So, you know, I don't know. I might have to go somewhere else. He told me last week that he'll probably be bringing it this week. Well, it's only Wednesday, so maybe he's going to be able to do that Friday. This is looking a little rough. This is, my friend Heidi pointed out to me that this really wasn't blight, that this was spotted leaf disease. And see that? That's exactly what it is. So I'm losing these tomato plants, definitely, but I am getting tomatoes off them. And they're absolutely beautiful tomatoes. See that? I'll come out here afterwards and I'll pick all these tomatoes, and I'm just flinging them in my freezer. I picked a bunch of peppers off here the other day. See, there's a couple more there. They're still doing good. And the flowers are doing good, but all the tomatoes are starting to ripen. It's fantastic. I'll have a lot of tomatoes. I just whip them in the freezer, and when I get enough to do a canner load, I take them out and process them. And I dug all the rest of my potatoes, and friends, they were huge. You could have put those potatoes. I had one, they were about the size of two-fisted potatoes, you know, fit in 2 palms. Over here, things are doing really good. I have my eggplants. They're coming on. See, little, but they're coming. And more cucumbers over here. My beets, I don't know. They didn't do well in that. That's dairy dew. That was an experiment. They didn't do well at all. There's nothing special about veggie dew or dairy dew. Nothing beats good old chicken dew, friends. My cucumbers, they came in spurts. They did real good and, you know, started producing quite a bit. And then they stopped. And now they're producing more again. I need to water out here. This is all wilted. I did have the water going out here, but it wasn't enough, obviously. So I better get that going. This inside here, look at all them Birdhouse Gourds. Aren't those simply gorgeous? Look at them hanging all over through here. I absolutely love that. I love those. Look at that one. It's huge. Got them all over, all kinds of them. So next year I'll have fun drying these over the winter and then painting them and making birdhouses out of them next year. The beans, there's lots of beans in here too. And I told my neighbor, I said, please, please, please come and pick some of these beans, because I have beans coming out my ears. And she picked a lot of beans. That's why you're not seeing them up there, because she was able to get all those beans. And here's a nice big beautiful tomato. And there's a mosquito on my arm. You know, we live in Michigan, and the mosquitoes up here, I swear, are the size of turkeys. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? What a nice sandwich tomato. All my parsley in there. This is doing really good. I think I've picked more green tomatoes. Look at these. Beautiful. I'm going to let that ripen down there a little bit more, but I'll probably pick him tomorrow. They're pretty though, but I have picked quite a few tomatoes off here, green and red, and did fried green tomatoes and sandwiches, tomato sandwiches with my homemade mayo, and I really need to do a video on that. The homemade mayo. Look at that pepper plant's beautiful. Yep, I want to do a video on homemade mayonnaise because it's absolutely delicious. I'll take you in here. Stuff is starting to die out. But remember, I did plant myself. Oh, and there's lots of ripe tomatoes in here. I really need to get in here tonight and get these done, picked. Look at all this. Fantastic. Now see, this one is just starting to go like crazy. this cucumber plant, and it has spread all around. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful. I'll be nibbling on that. Oh my goodness, and look at this one. We obviously didn't notice this one. Look at how big this thing is. And of course, I won't use that. I'll give that to the chickens because it's just too huge. And it's starting to turn yellow, so it's way too ripe. But there's, you can see down in there, you can see the ripe tomatoes down in there. So I got to get them picked. I'm going to set this pickle up here. And we're going to go give this to the chickens. They're going to love it. It was gorgeous today, but it's still been really hot and muggy up here. And of course, August, I think August up here is the hottest part of summer. So I'm just going to kind of fling that right over the fence, and hopefully I didn't hit a chicken. They'll peck that to death. We'll go back over here and I'll take you this way. And I won't forget my pickle and my 2 tomatoes that I had sitting up there. Oh, I got more in here too. This is, this had a whole bunch on it. And they all got mature and I picked them off. And it doesn't look like there's anything in here yet. But there's some blooms in there. So that's still producing. I watered this, but it is still really, I don't know. It's coming to the end. And it's not as pretty as it was. But it's still to me is beautiful. Look at my flowers. I love them. I'm looking at this. I just discovered this. This is giant Marcello peppers. They're big, fat, sweet peppers. And that's producing a few of them it's got going on in there. Gorgeous. And all my 4 o'clocks. And if you grow 4 o'clocks, right here, you can save the seeds. Get your thumb in there. Get that seed out. Look, you can save the seeds for next year. My daughter saves just tons of them. And after they bloom and that flower falls off, and you get a little dilly that looks like that, there's a little black seed in there. And save those seeds. Here, I'll show you. Right here's one. Okay? Let me get a hold of him. See him? Right there. See the black seed in there? Just pick that out with your thumb. Oh, actually the little end piece come off, but it sits inside of there. So, that's how you save your seeds. At least from those. And my marigold seeds, I do save them too. And I just take them and I just break them like that. When you open them up, let go of that. You open these up. I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. See, there's your seeds. Beautiful. And I save them for the next year. See them? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So that's what I do with those. My neighbor, when she picked beans, she forgot these. But look at all the beans on here. And these will produce another few pickings because they're fairly new plants. When I planted my beans, I planted them in 2-week intervals. My cabbage is doing pretty good. My dill's all done. I got a couple little pieces left, and I'm just saving those for myself. I sold the rest of my dill. This is a big zucchini plant, and so is this one. And there's another nice, beautiful zucchini on there that I am going to pick. There's another one down in there. He's a good sized one. Beautiful. He's good for dinner. I've got my spaghetti squash. That is what it is, friends. It is spaghetti squash. Remember I said before I wasn't sure what it was. Definitely it's spaghetti squash. And I got butterflies everywhere. Look at them. They're all over. They love this. Is that not gorgeous? Let's see if I can get him. Beautiful. Look at him. I love that. My garden is almost on its last days, but literally is still bursting with life. Look at all those zinnias. Aren't they gorgeous? And I've always loved these scraggly ones. Look like they're old and dying, but they're beautiful. Absolutely. It looks like raffia bows. I love them. And I'm looking over there, and if you look at that tomato plant, right smack in the middle of my camera there, right in the middle of the picture, you'll see that red. Those are my San Marzanos that are getting ripe. Look at this nice head of cabbage. He's almost ready to pick. And then I've got, oh yeah, look at here. This is how I can always tell the squash is almost ready to go. Look at all those little squash bugs. You know, if I come out here, they don't hurt that. They'll kill your leaves, which ultimately can and will, if you don't take care of it, will kill your plant. But I just spray them with a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and it will take care of them. My broccoli did nothing but went to seed. It went to flower, and then it will go to seed. My watermelons are beautiful. Look at them. Gorgeous. I got 3 beautiful ones in here. And another huge, I should have brought my basket, another huge cucumber. Oh, this one is a nice, this is a nice one. Nice, I'll put that in the market stand. So, I just got to come through here. I've got tomatoes. This plant is huge, and it has fallen over because it is so big. Look at all those tomatoes there. Look at all the ripe ones over there. Beautiful. So, anyway, there's ripe tomatoes down in there that I need to get picked. There's cucumbers that I need to get picked. And it'll be nice. And I picked these the other day because they fell. So I put them up above here so they'd ripen up. And I'm going to take that one in with a marigold seed on it. Look at all the sunflowers. Absolutely beautiful. They got huge, I mean tall. They have to be at least 15 feet tall. Those way up there. Look at them, they're just beautiful, way up there. Absolutely gorgeous. I love them. They're my favorite flower beside lilacs. And this year I didn't get lilacs because they were froze out. So we're going to set these on the table, and then I'll take you to the front. That's how the garden's going. It's doing pretty good. I got a bunch over here too. I planted green beans behind me there along the bricks. You can't see it. Over by those flowers, there's green beans. If you look closely, you'll see them. And those are doing good too. I had 2 pickings off them. Oh, the gnats out here. It's horrible. So, I got some news for you too. And I don't think I told you yet. We're going to put these on the table here. See. I got them right down there. Okay. That's my herbs, my oregano, my thyme, and my French tarragon. I just let it go. I picked enough off in it. My sage, I can still harvest from my sage. It's still harvestable. It's still good. It smells wonderful. All my flowers in there. And my beans. My beans up here, you can see they're up to my kitchen window on the fence here. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few in there because you can see the flowers starting to come out on them. I planted these a little later, so they're a couple weeks behind the rest of them. And in here, this is doing really good too. I got a nice, beautiful ripe tomato that's been eaten. Oh, that's funny. Something got hungry. My peppers, I got more little peppers coming on these. The tomatoes fell over. I'm looking at my green sweet peppers are doing good in there. My green bell peppers. And then this is another green bell pepper. I got a nice size one down there. And this is banana peppers, but there's nothing on there. I picked them all off. And I got a bunch of ripe tomatoes. These are my San Marzanos. These, I'm going to pick one even though it's not completely ripe. Those are beautiful. Those are the greatest tomatoes for making sauce, spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, all that. I tore that out of there because those died on me. Those were my zucchini plants. And I bet you I only got a handful of zucchinis off them. They just did not do well at all. This, not well either. I don't know what happened here. This year this bed didn't do very good at all. And I come out here now and then and I find a nice big huge pickle. Most of the time they're just the little ones. And I just, those that size, I let it get a little bigger than that. But I don't like them when they get too big, and they do plump out pretty quick on you. And they hide really good. So, a couple more down there. They're getting ready. And I got one there. And this is all a morning glory, but it looks more like a potato vine. These, I'm getting ready to pick these out of here because they're not doing anything anymore. That one might have a little flower on them. This bed, both of these beds, this year didn't do good at all. Absolutely not at all. I don't know what went wrong, but they did not do good. This did fantastic. This is all beans. There's tomatoes on the other side. But look at all those beans hanging. And this was just picked the other day too, so this is doing fantastic on this side. And these tomatoes, oh my goodness, these tomatoes are so good. These are my little gold nugget tomatoes. They are so sweet. And these are good in salads, and it's just good to come out here and munch. I sell a bunch of them in my stand too. So the beans over here are doing good too. A lot of these I'm just going to let go to seed. Probably these up here. See, they're doing good, but I'm probably just going to let them go to seed and use these for winter beans. Granted, I don't need a whole lot of winter beans because I still got tons. Excuse me, I'm chewing. Those are so good and sweet. If you ever get a chance to grow the gold nugget tomatoes, they're like little yellow cherry tomatoes, but they're just bursting with flavor. They're wonderful. My neighbor's up from Florida. Bless his heart. He's my neighbor that his wife passed. Janet passed away a couple years back. Almost 2 years now. Or excuse me, almost 3 years now. Well, let me tell you this. See that beautiful house? And literally, it is that close to mine. I mean, the flower bed over here that has gone array, but beyond the pool there, somebody knows me, beyond the pool there, that used to be her flower bed, and part of it is on my property and the other half's on hers. But I'm so excited to tell you that my daughter, her hubby, and the 4 children will be living in that house. That's how close they will be to me. Now you tell me, friends, that is the most wonderful security for children, because Mama will be there in that house, Grandma will be in this house where I've always been, and their dad lives right there across the street. Those children will have the best the world can give, just having their family right next to them. So I'm excited. I know she's going to stay with me for probably a month before it's ready for her to move in. And she's hoping that eventually she'll be able to just buy it. But I'm so close to my daughter. And I tell you, I even promised her, you know, because I love my daughter. I'd want to be there all the time. And I told her, I promise I won't be Marie Barone. I won't come over every day. I'll wait patiently for you to invite me for coffee. I won't meddle, I promise. The kids can come over anytime they want. They'll have a path between us. But my daughter, she's like, Mom, you can come and live with me if you wanted. You know, we're just that close. So I'm really, really excited. I am blessed because even when she lived in Manistee, my youngest daughter is 12 miles away from me. Susie was 16 miles, and my son is 20 miles. They're all really right around me. And you can travel that distance back and forth a couple times in a day, you know. So, but to have her right next to me, is just a blessing. Thank you, Jesus. I prayed so hard that she would have a place close to me. And look, I couldn't ask for anything closer. But it'll be fun for, you know, a month. I mean, we'll be doubled up while she's staying with me. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And she's already got my basement. She's hauling in boxes. She's packing. And instead of getting a storage shed, we're putting it in my basement. She might have to take her furniture and get a storage shed because I don't have that much room. She might have a hard time getting it down my stairs. But the boxes, look at these gnats. They're nuts. God, they make you crazy. Biting me and everything. But she's got all her boxes from her house is going to be done. I got enough room for all that. So anyway, it's going to be a little bit busy. Oh, an update on my mom. I think I told you that, I got a couple updates. I told you that she was going to have her surgery and I was going to take a couple weeks off. Well, they had to postpone it. They wanted to do one more test to clear her because they were afraid she might have had a stroke. Well, she took that test. She got the results today, and she's good to go. She's not at high risk for a stroke because she does have a little clog in her carotid artery. But it's not anything they said that is going to cause her a stroke right now, or, you know, she can have this surgery, her hip replacement, before they fix that, because she's like bone on bone and she's just miserable. She's been off now for 4 weeks and it's making her nuts. She told me today, she says, my God, I've been off 4 weeks. I haven't done nothing. 4 weeks. I haven't done nothing in my house, nothing outside. I'm lucky I can walk across the floor. And then I hurt so bad, I just lay down. Her hip is bothering her that bad. And cortisone doesn't agree with her. So she's kind of nursing it with Tylenol and Motrin and makes her ears ring. And she says, I'm just in a hell of a predicament. So she says, I got a couple of weeks to wait because it's like the first week of September. So 3 weeks tops. She says, I can do it. And then, you know, they're going to go in and they're going to replace the ball joint. And they said if she does well, depending on how well she does, she could go home the very next morning. So we're excited. And then they'll take care of her carotid artery at a later date. My husband's son favored very well in his open heart surgery. It was a little iffy there because they went in, they had to open him up, you know, crack his sternum the whole bit, and open him up and replace his aortic valve. Now, my mother had the same thing done, but she was able to do the TAVR, or they were able to do the TAVR on her, where they go up through your groin and replace the valve and come out the other side. He wasn't that fortunate. He has endocarditis, so they had to replace the valve with open heart surgery. And he's only like 42, I think. Shame on me, I don't know. Well, they got him closed up, got him out of the operating room, and turned around within, you know, hours, and had to go back in and repair it because it was leaking. They had to replace it. So they had to do something to it. So he had it twice in 1 day. And he spent 10 days in the hospital. And he's home. He's been downgraded to just, you know, Motrin or Tylenol. And he's doing good. So all the prayers were answered for him. So after September, the first week of September, when my mom goes in for that surgery, I'll take that couple weeks off. It probably won't be a total 2 weeks because they told her she'll start moving, just give herself a few days to, recuperate. They said, and you'll be able to start walking. And granted, they like you to walk. You don't lay in a hospital anymore like you did years and years and years ago. It's like my mother said, she's a recovery nurse, so she knows. She said they get them up, they get them walking, just as soon as they can, they get them moving because they don't want blood clots. You're at a high risk for blood clots. And beside of that, walking and moving, you heal faster than if you're just laying. So they told her a few days and she could start moving around and, go according to let her pain be her guide, whatever. And so she's excited. She's excited to get back to work, even though she only works 2 days a week. I hate when that happens. What? My granddaughter. You haven't seen Sadie. Tootsie Bell, come here. I hate when that happens, when you're talking away and the phone dies. But my mother's going to do fine. She's going to favor well. I want you to see somebody who hasn't been here in quite some time. Look at how tall she's getting. Tell them who you are.
I'm Mercedes.
How old are you?
11.
Isn't that something? This is the first time I seen her all summer. She walked in the house and I said, I think you forgot you had a Nana.
I would never forget.
That's what she said. I'd never forget you. Well, friends, I have jabbered your ears off enough. We're going to go make some banana bread, or zucchini bread, and lots of it. I'm going to do about 8 loaves for the market stand. So that's what we're going to be doing. She's hanging out with me for the week. Next week, we're going to go to where? Where are we going next week?
The fair.
The fair. We're going to the Manistee County Fair next week. We're going to have a ball. All the grandkids and Tracy and I. Boy, oh boy, that's going to be fun. All right, friends. So you all have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.